Just outside the small town, deep within the woods, there stood an old and abandoned cabin. Nobody knew exactly when or why it had been abandoned, but the townsfolk had steered clear of the place for a long time. There were eerie rumors circulating about the cabin, but they were just spooky stories told among the locals on a cold January day. The curiosity about the cabin grew among the town's youth. The alleged ghost stories were beginning to excite them. On the last day of their winter break, a group of friends decided to venturetto the cabin. Before reaching the cabin, David, the town's most ambitious science enthusiast, brought along an array of scientific equipment. He wanted to detect strange magnetic fields around the cabin. The rest of the group carried flashlights and a generator to provide lighting as they approached the cabin. The silence of the forest strangely became oppressive. They knocked on the cabin's door, but it creaked open slowly with a dreadful groan. Inside, the cabin was in much better condition than they had expected, despite years of abandonment. Some old belongings and furniture still remained as the night wore on. David recorded strange fluctuations in magnetic fields. Alyssa and Emily heard eerie whispers and murmurs in their audio recordings, though things were not going entirely smoothly. The teenagers seemed to be having some fun, however, as the night progressed, an eerie atmosphere settled in. The group exchanged uneasy glances as they each felt as if they had experienced odd events. David noticed the intensity of magnetic fluctuations increasing, and when the flashlights suddenly went out, a chilling silence enveloped the room. In the center of the cabin, an inexplicable cold wave seemed to emanate from nowhere, and the teenagers felt themselves under the influence of this strange energy. Suddenly, a mournful cry echoed from the walls of the cabin, and with that cry, the interior of the cabin was surrounded by a dark presence. The teenagers tried to flee in terror, but the door had shut, trapping them inside. Back in the town, those who had returned from the forest never saw these teenagers again. More rumors about the ghost or presence in the cabin spread, but this story ended in the town. The traces of the teenagers vanished, and the events inside the cabin remained a mystery.